everybody, great to be with you. Elizabeth again with the Celebrity Dinner Party, and I'm here with Mike Rosenberg of Passenger. So, my very favorite beer, Matilda from Chicago. I wanted to bring you some beer so I could cheers to you.
Aww.
Young as the morning, old as the sea, debuted #1 in England, your hometown, and Australia, New Zealand. Rockstar guy.
Thanks very much. Oh, that's very sweet of you.
And you've been rolling through the US with sold-out tours the whole time.
Pretty much, yeah. It's been a great tour. It's always amazing to come to the States and tour. And you know, as a kid growing up in England, it's a dream that you kind of don't ever expect to be a reality. You know, so every time I come to the States, I'm kind of reminded how lucky I am to have a fan base all over the world. And you know, you come to places like LA and sell out shows. It's a real sort of reality check and a bit of a moment sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and this tour you're going through with the band behind you, and I don't think you've done that since the official Passenger band.
Yeah, back in 1941. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Yeah.
You old man, you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I think Passenger disbanded in 2009. The band actually.
Yeah, maybe a bit earlier. Even.
A bit earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
But then you kept the name, and you've been touring solo. But now you've got a band back with you. What's that like to have that sort of creative sharing going on again?
It's lovely. It really is. I mean, I think there's great things about playing on your own as well. You know, for a long time it was great to just be me and a guitar because it's so flexible. You know, you can jump on a train and go and play a gig for no money, whatever, and you can be so spontaneous about it. And I think when you're trying to get something off the ground, that's kind of priceless, you know, just to be able to do everything, take every opportunity without really thinking about it. And from a performance point of view, I think playing on your own, you can go any way the night sort of takes you. You can play a song from your second album, you know, just kind of throw in anything you want. With a band, it's a bit more structured. You have to have a set list that everyone's kind of
ready
across and aware of. But it's so much fun. It's so much fun to share this crazy ride with some of my really good mates, and I guess on stage as well there are moments where you can't have on your own. Like, you know, it's that collaboration, it's that kind of group mentality which makes it so special. Yeah.
It's great to be an ensemble again, but you really got your name by busking. Street corner to street corner all over the world, Australia, England, even the US, I believe. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wonder if you miss that immediacy of this person's walking by and your music has touched them so much that they stop and give you the most valuable of things, their time.
Yeah.
What's that like now that you play to sold out shows everywhere, so you don't have the same kind of intimacy?
Yeah, it's exactly right. And I think, you know, at the time when I was busking, of course it wasn't perfect. I was, staying in shared dorm rooms in hostels and had no money and doing everything on a budget. And all I really wanted was to play big sold-out shows and travel around in a tour bus, you know. And it's funny because then that happens, and don't get me wrong, I love the way it's gone, and I'm so grateful. And playing these shows, as I said, they really are a dream. But there's definitely something I miss about. Yeah, I guess, again, it's this sort of spontaneity of busking, you know. I remember mornings like getting up, looking at the map, and jumping on a train to another town. You know, it was so, like, just, I don't know, whatever happened.
Your life and your music are so the same.
Yeah.
They're one element functioning together.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess you're the underdog then, you know, and everyone loves an underdog.
Yes.
Everyone wants you to succeed. And that, I think human nature, changes once somebody is successful. People aren't necessarily all loving and all giving towards it, you know. So that's quite an interesting shift to witness, I think.
Sure, and the business end of it must add pressure and then competition. And I think I read somewhere that you still buy your own album, and you make your mom buy your album too.
Absolutely. You don't get #1 unless you do that.
So every sale counts.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's funny, when I was a busker for 5 years, so I think that mentality will always be within me. I value things. I value, money, people, time, all of those things.
Yes.
I remember what it was like to be very much on the other side of things. So I think actually it set me up in a really good way, and means that I'm just very grateful for all of this amazing success. You know,
because it's tricky, because life is tricky, and you never know how it's going to shake out. You know, I wanted to ask you about your songwriting process, because you're on the road an incredible amount.
Yep.
So do you lock yourself in a room when you're, you know, after a concert, or is it something that you have a notebook going all the time?
it comes and goes. I think I used to write more than I do now. And I think I'm talking to other songwriters, I think that's quite a natural thing. As you get older, you start to write a bit less. But hopefully the quality is, you know, it used to be, back in the day I used to write sort of 3 songs a week, and
Wow.
1 song a month would be good enough, you know. And nowadays I think if I follow through an idea, it's generally usable. It's generally will go on a record, or it will be used in some capacity. So I think that's changed a bit, but I've always been really lucky. I can write wherever I am, and I think again busking was great for that, because it was this kind of continuous thing where I would be busking, playing gigs, travelling, writing, and the whole thing would be moving. All of the plates would be spinning at once, and that's a great feeling when the whole machine is kind of moving within itself, you know.
Yeah, and it's very empowering, because you're
Oh,
doing
yeah.
everything, as opposed to now you probably have managers and business people, and people have their opinions about everything, but when you're just on your own, you're sort of making it happen according to your schedule.
It was so empowering and so freeing, you know, that moment where you realise, actually, I don't need to wait for a phone call from some producer to tell me that it was the time, or, you know, it's like, actually I can just take my guitar, take my amplifier and my CDs and go, and just go.
And here I go.
And I think as soon as you know, and that's applicable to everyone in every walk of life, as soon as you realise that you are actually powerful enough, you know, and, you know, me and my manager, it really was just the two of us kind of figuring everything out and plotting it all, and there was something really refreshing about that, you know. After, you know, the band, it wasn't the first sort of setup with the band all those years ago, it wasn't like that. It was quite rigid and quite sort of serious, and it was a lovely moment to be like, actually, you know what, I'm just going to go and play for people.
And see where that goes.
Yeah.
For the pure love of playing.
Exactly. And sometimes you can overthink these things. You know, I remember, you know, not playing a lot of gigs before that, you know, and this kind of like a lot of analysis going on and waiting for a big buzz to come before we go and play gigs. It's rubbish. Go and play music, you know. Go and do what you're good at. And get in front of people, and that starts the momentum.
Would that be your words of advice to someone just starting out?
I think so, yeah. I think take every opportunity you can.
Yeah.
You know, even if at the time it doesn't feel like it's playing Glastonbury, you know, it's even if it's just a pub gig in front of 10, 20 people, you never know who those 10, 20 people are. Plus, every gig you learn from. So it's, yeah, I think the more you can get out there, write with people, play, busk, do whatever, the closer you're getting to where you want to be.
I interviewed Brad Whitford, the guitarist, one of the guitarists for Aerosmith.
Oh, cool.
And I asked him a very simple question, but of course sometimes the simple questions are truly the hardest. What makes a good song?
A few things, I think. I mean, I think melody is probably the most important thing out of everything. You know, I think that's what captures people immediately. I think the melody has to be really strong. For me, lyrics are a huge part of it, and I think if you can marry a great melody with a meaningful lyric that resonates with someone, then that's the magic, I think.
But how do you get that magic? Because you write a lot of songs, and so you're honing in on all those melodies and all those lyrics. Maybe the question is better stated, do you know when one song's going to hit it big? Did you see Let Her Go as going 6 times platinum?
Definitely bloody not, no. But that's the weird thing about music. There's no science behind it,
Right.
really. There's no. If there was, then, you know, people would be bottling it. I think with Let Her Go, it was just another song, like I wrote all my other songs. I didn't think too much about it, and in fact, it was one of the quicker ones. It took 45 minutes to write that song.
Oh my word.
So you kind of think, yeah, it's it's alright, you know, it's catchy, it's nice love song. But yeah, I didn't for 1 second think that it was anything different to my other songs. And yeah, the universe sort of clicked into place and the stars aligned for that song. And you know, it's not just about the quality of the song, it's about the right people hearing it and taking a gamble and taking a chance. So many things where it could have gone the other way, you know, like moments where people said yes when they could have said no, and those moments leading up to it becoming a big hit. You know, it's very sliding doors, I think,
Yes.
those moments.
So how much of it is luck versus hard work? And there's no way around the work. We all know this. There's no way around the work. But how much of it is just, as you say, the stars aligned, roll the dice, come on lucky seven, and it could have gone the other way?
Yeah, I think you're right, that the hard work allows you to be in a position where you can be lucky, if that makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. It puts you in a place where you can get that luck and you can catch the wind and you can go. I think, I don't know percentage-wise what work and luck, you know, what the ratio would look like, but certainly there were 3 or 4 moments where I was extremely lucky to have the right person hear it at that moment, you know.
I always tell people, sometimes people ask me the same thing, how did you get into this? And I always say it's a numbers game. If you say yes to enough opportunities and you create enough content, in my instance it would be interviews, for you maybe it's songs, at some point that number's going to come up and you just have to keep playing that game, keep rolling those dice as much as you can.
Yeah, and trust in what you do and back yourself, you know, back yourself that you're doing something good, that you know, if you put all your love and genuine hard work into something, chances are it's really good, you know. And so as long as you keep on doing that over and over again, as you say, at some point something's going to click. I think the other really important thing is just to be, it sounds so stupid, but just be a nice guy to people. The world is really small, you know.
It is really small.
Especially within the creative industries, and if you're an arsehole, you're not going to last very long, especially nowadays. No one puts up with it. And I mean, regardless of being successful or not, just don't be an arsehole. I think that's probably quite a good rule.
I like that.
For
yes,
life.
we'll go with that as a life lesson number 1 from this interview. Don't be an asshole. Fair enough. So you have opened for Ed Sheeran at different points, and have you ever collaborated together? Don't think so exactly. Oh, you did?
Well, we've done bits and bobs, like nothing official. We didn't release anything, but yeah, I used to jump up on stage with him most gigs and sing a song. We did a few bits for different radio stations and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I bring it up because he has sort of like fame all over the place. But because you've kept the name Passenger, and maybe not everybody knows the name Mike Rosenberg, and so you can probably get by on the street where people don't stop you. So or maybe they do, but maybe not as much as somebody like Ed. So it's sort of like just the right amount of fame. Like you have enough fame where you're successful and people are hearing your music. I mean, this is what you want. It's for your words to actually get to somebody. So you want enough fame for that, but you don't want people to like bother you while you're brushing your teeth or any sort of this kind of stuff.
Exactly right.
So I wondered if fame was ever the goal.
Definitely not. Like I think you know, decisions like keeping Passenger is the name, but also just like I've never been into sort of being a part of the scene. I can't really deal with it. Like I quite like sort of early nights and
that's worked out okay for you.
Yeah, well, I think it's like I quite like early nights. I sound like the most boring man on earth.
You're drinking Matilda. There's still hope for you. Oh, would you like some more Matilda?
Why not?
Just a little
See,
bit.
I'm not
here
boring.
Yes,
promise.
Yes. Noted.
But no, I think for me it's like it's never been the reason I got into it. My music stayed, you know, it obviously changes with every album and with every year that I'm alive, but the crux of it is what it is. I've never been sort of swayed by trends or fads. I just write songs, you know, songs that I love and that I'm proud of, and hopefully other people feel the same, you know. So this whole idea of sort of like being involved in like the kind of celebrity party thing, totally fine for other people to do it. Good luck to you, but I just can't be bothered.
And it's so much energy.
Sounds bad, yeah.
It's such a drain of energy, and it keeps you away from being focused and centered on yourself.
I'd rather actually like put that energy into making music and touring and doing the rest of it. So I'm probably very boring, but the whole fame thing, can't really be doing with it.
I
And so this is kind of why it's at a really good level, because, you know, I can come and do these amazing shows that, you know, they're big and they're amazing. And then, yeah, as you say, like, the next day I can walk around town and no one...
It's the best of all worlds, really.
I'm secretly and quietly very pleased with how it's all worked out.
It has been great. So I know we're really short on time today because you're about to perform another sold-out show. So just a couple quick wrap-up questions at the end. So you are on tour, you're rolling across the United States. What is your favorite snack when you're on tour? It can be healthy or not healthy.
In America, it's so hard because...
To be healthy or?
Yeah, I mean, fast food is just so good here.
Yes. Oh, I see.
Like, we try and do it in the UK, but we can never quite nail it like you guys do. Like, it's all so delicious and all so bad for you.
So bad. Yes.
Pizza, wings, burgers, all of it is amazing.
Okay. So you've gone down the rabbit hole.
I allow myself one thing every day, so it's like you can have something naughty every day once. Okay. So it's like an ice cream or a pizza or something, but the rest of the time I have to try and be good, because otherwise I literally am rolling around America. Yeah.
Do you have any go-to snack? Like I've always got M&Ms in my pocket. I've always got almonds. I've always got Twinkies.
I love sushi.
Ooh.
Yeah, not really a pocket snack.
No. Please don't.
No.
Please don't put
For
sushi
so
in
many
there.
reasons. It's
Yes,
just not
right.
a good look. But yeah, I love Japanese food. And I think actually, like, touring, I think Asian food is a bit of a blessing, because it's, by and large, it's pretty healthy.
Yes, right.
It's pretty good for you.
Yeah, good way
So,
to go. And
yeah.
kind of quick. Can be kind of quick.
Yeah.
So you can kind of do both there.
Yeah, right.
So a very final question for you. You're on something called the Celebrity Dinner Party. So of course you probably see this question coming. Who would you invite to dinner? Who's someone you've always wanted to sit down with over food? Or for a good chat?
The guy who springs to mind, my musical hero, is Paul Simon. And I think he'd be a fascinating guy to talk to as well. I think his career has been incredible, you know, so many ups and downs and left turns and interesting moments that I'd love to quiz him on.
And what a lyricist.
What a lyricist, yeah. I think the best, really, for me, like, clever, but also really human and like poignant. I think he treads that line very, very well.
Well, so cheers to you, and cheers to Paul Simon.
Oh, cheers.
Sellout show tonight, everybody. Thanks for joining me.
Such a pleasure. Thank you.
And you let her go.